What is up, you guys? Dagger here with a new video slash story. So if you can't tell, I'm sick right now, and it really sucks because it's Halloween. But I figured since it's Halloween, I'd do something special and tell maybe a story or something. So, without further ado, I'm going to tell you a story about something that happened actually this year during October, I'd like to say, sometime during October when the clowns started up. So, let's get into it. The clowns, they started up sometime this month, I believe, if I'm on the correct schedule of time. With that being said, everybody's freaking out about the clowns. And so, about the Friday after they start appearing, me and my uncle sit down with my dad, my mom, and, my brother and sister. And we're sitting there talking at dinner. And he's like, my uncle says, "Oh, it's not a big deal." He says, "It's just a bunch of people trying to get attention, sitting around in clown costumes." He said, "Some of them are pedophiles and murderers, but most of them are trying to get attention and reactions." Which, for some parts I did agree with. And so, we're sitting there giving our own opinions on the clowns. And we were talking about one that had murdered some kids and one that got beat down by some guys. And all this stuff that's been happening. And, he tells us, he says, "Well, one better not mess with me." He said, "Because as you guys know, I own, my M16, and whew, does that thing kill people." And so we're all laughing about, his M16 because he's a retired nom-vet, and I think I've explained this many times, but he's a retired nom-vet. He's old enough to be my grandpa. He was just adopted into the family. So, we're talking, the night goes on, and, it's about time to go to bed. He decides he's going to leave in his Mustang. And so, this is a Friday night. It's getting ready to be Saturday the next day. Well, Saturday also hangs out with us. And, it's nothing bad, just another normal day, and we're sitting there, talking and catching up on what's been going on, because he works, since he's a retired vet, he works on refrigerator appliances and washers and all that stuff. And we talk about, the military and everything else. Well, time goes on. He doesn't hang out on Sundays because he's got to go back to work on Monday. So, the next week, we have inflatables to deliver out in the panhandle of Oklahoma, which is a 4-hour drive from where we live. Whew. Well, he comes pulling up on Saturday, and we're sitting there. He starts talking to us. He's like, "Yeah, somebody busted out my rear windshield." And we were like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, we don't know who it is yet." Well, we're sitting there, we go through the whole day, and, he helps us out. We drop him off as quick as we can at the house. We start unloading the stuff. We let him go and get his windshield fixed, his rear windshield fixed. Well, the next night, he goes ahead and calls my dad and lets him know that they got the price. It's about a $200 price, which, for a rear windshield isn't too bad for him for an '08 Mustang GT. So, finally we're getting near the time of, he comes back the next Friday night. And he's talking with us, and he says, "Yeah, I found out who it is." He says, "We looked at the cameras, and it was someone dressed up in a clown costume throwing beads at the back of his rear windshield. I mean, man, just a clown. So he decides when he gets home that night, he's carrying his M16 in his car, and he always does. And since he's a retired non-vet, he got to keep his M16. Well, he's got it in his passenger seat, and when he parks, he told us that the clown was sitting right behind his car, like it snuck out from behind a dumpster and was sitting there. Well, my uncle wasn't too happy with this guy already, so he starts yelling at the guy, and the guy's sitting there holding a balloon, and my uncle's like telling him that he needs to move and all this stuff. So the guy's not moving, and my uncle's like, all right. And when you imagine him, when you imagine my uncle, he's gray-haired. He's about 51 or so. No, not even 51. I don't even know his age, really. My dad would know his age. I really haven't, known how old he is, but he's a pretty old guy. I'll put it that way. And he's come to do a lot of good stuff, but his hair's graying now, and he doesn't quite have a beard because he doesn't like the style of a beard, but he's got a goatee. And he's a pretty awesome guy overall. I really enjoy the company of my uncle, but for the most part, he's a laid-back individual. Well, he's like, I'm gonna make this guy move. He doesn't rev his Mustang. He doesn't try and back up. No, he thinks to go the whole step past that because he thinks that's not gonna work. He pulls out his M16 and starts sticking it out the door, pointing it at the freaking clown. At the clown. And the clown starts freaking out and running off. He's like, that's right, you bastard. You better run. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Oh my god. So, that's the last he's seen of the clown, luckily. And he's out of town this weekend, so there's no telling if that clown went by and visited his house or what. But, he had the idea that it was a bunch of kids in a gang that got the wrong address. So that was his thoughts. Well, when he found out it was a clown, it changed everything, and he knew that these clowns are just whatever. But with him, he takes a lot of things very seriously when it comes to that stuff, especially his car. He's had that car since it was brand new off the floor, or wherever you'd like to, however you'd say it. He had it brand new, and he's been through rough times with it and not rough times with it. I mean, he's been through great and bad, but that's I tell you, a clown messing with a vet is not gonna fly, especially with the vets. Most of them have a concealed and carry. He doesn't just have that. He's got a full-on assault rifle in his passenger seat. And, he's... I don't even know, but he is awesome. But, he told me that story, and, I figured, hey, since it's Halloween, why not tell you guys that story? Now, I do have to say I'm sick, and, this video will be out today on Halloween. I'm going to start stories back up every other Monday. And And so, with it being every other Monday, this is going to be up as soon as I can get it. I'm pretty dang sick. My brother just broke his wrist yesterday. And yeah, it's gotten pretty bad around the house. But, you know, here's the thing, guys. I missed last Friday, and I'm going to give you guys the reason why. We were installing a new modem and router over Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so we could have internet access, because I've been having trouble with the internet. I decided to buy one. So, yeah. Anyways, this Friday, I'll hopefully have something up. Now, I'm going to try and make up for last Friday with this video. Now, that video's already been edited. And, my buddy Luis, he's having a cookout on Thursday, which I'm not giving anybody his freaking address, because that would just be ridiculous. But, I'm going to be editing one of his videos on his channel. I will put his link in the description. Another link that I'm going to put in the description is my buddy Tyler. He is getting ready to show my car off on his Instagram with, I think, 6 or 7K followers, which is actually might help me out. He's gonna put, you know, all of these videos in the description, or not all the videos, but one video link in the description and my YouTube link in the description of that. So if you could go check him out, that would be really good. I would appreciate if you check him out. But otherwise than that, I really don't have much more to say, guys. Thank you for watching it this far, or even if you just tuned in for a few minutes. I know this is probably some background stuff for you guys as you play games or do whatnot. But, you know, otherwise than that, if you like the video, do not forget to slice that like button. I'll see you guys later. Peace.